everybody. Welcome to Culture by Numbers, a podcast where data geeks meet pop culture, and we dive deep into ways that marketers, data scientists, and ad tech practitioners can collaborate with brands to utilize tools for performance. Each week, we decode the numbers behind the noise, showing how analytics are driving trends in fashion, sports, politics, culture, and more. And whether you're here to up your marketing game or learn some nerdy new tricks or just curious about the data behind your favorite memes, we've got you covered. And we'll also dish out practical tips on ad tech and explore how different channels impact the way we live, work, and play. So grab your headphones and get ready to laugh, learn, and see culture through a whole new lens, one data point at a time. My name is Sunny Youn. I have 15 years of ad tech experience at ad agencies like WPP and Publicis. And I've been working in analytics for a very long time. But today we have a special guest, Anthony Laneau, who is the global head of commerce at VML, a global agency with $3.6 billion in revenue at key clients like Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Colgate-Palmolive, Ford, Nestle, Dell, and Unilever. I mean, these are brand names that everyone's familiar with. And he's also the founder at Fourth Mind, a thought leadership think tank that I subscribe to personally. And it talks about modern media and technology focused on the evolution of AI and its impact on business, society, and the human condition. And everyone's talking about AI and trying to get onto the bandwagon, make sense of it. So Anthony leads the marketplace and retail media e-commerce strategies at VML, where he specializes in strategies for clients on Amazon and Walmart and other retailers through a variety of methods. And these include end-to-end everything from catalog selection, supply chain operations, and omni-channel advertising. And so through tech integration and service development, he takes his hyperscaling experience from 8 years at Amazon to deliver scalable execution for profitable growth. Wow, that's a lot. So welcome, Anthony, to the podcast.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you for having me.
No, I'm really excited because I've heard such great things about you, and there's a lot to discuss. So why don't we just jump into it? So recently, Sam Altman of OpenAI tweeted that we're entering the era of fast fashion in SaaS and AI. So as you know, a lot of times there are prototypes and proof of concepts, and there's a huge learning curve before things started to take off and reach critical mass. And now we're entering this fast fashion. So what are some of the recent announcements about AI that have caught your attention? Because the past few weeks have been packed with so many.
Yeah.
It's making it challenging to stay current.
I mean, like Sam Altman, Demis Abbassis, and DJSC, they are tweeting every day. So every day there is a new announcement. Every day there is a new tool, a new product that everybody should definitely test, use, and adopt. But on my side, I'm spending a very a good part of my time, to read research papers, blog from this company, because I'm trying to understand what can be really valuable. I mean, for people, but also for clients, of course. Some of these new features tool, I can definitely see the impact. From others, I'm more let's wait and see, Lastly, I think a lot of announcement has been focused on agentic commerce. So we have this new partnership announcement between OpenAI and Walmart. They are doing the same for Target. They're having the same with Uber and DoorDash. So for the moment, I mean, the partnership is really you can use OpenAI, you can go to ChatGPT to buy product on Walmart, Target, and you can automate that with an agent, which is great. And for some people, I'm pretty sure the technology will evolve and you'll be able to do more than that in the future. And I don't know if you saw, but Jassy made an announcement yesterday about Amazon working with potential third-party vendors and unbox it in 2 weeks. My expectation is the partnership will be announced at Unbox between OpenAI and Amazon or maybe someone else. But Amazon is doing something with Reference. They just launched a couple of new features, but I'm definitely expecting an announcement with one of the big AI company. On
Absolutely.
The flip,
Yeah, because I mean, Amazon put in $4 billion into Anthropic, which is
but at the same time, one of the biggest Anthropic investors now is Google. So Amazon and Google are competing on that side, which is good. I mean, the more money they can put into this company, the best features and evolution we will get. On the flip side, I have to admit, like, I'm quite impressed by the Google DeepMind, company. So DeepMind is a part of Google, and they are leading like all of these like Gemini tool integration. So they just launched like VO3. They expanded like Opal. They just released Pomeli, which is a brand new tool that marketers can use to create like campaign end to end on the content side. They just released also like a Gemini, robotic 1.5. And they also like just enhance like the best tool I've tested so far, Notebook LLM. So it sounds like I'm name dropping tools
Yeah.
from Google, but I'm using a lot of their solution, to be honest, and I found them like really great. To be transparent.
Well, what is the actual use case for consumers? What is exactly agentic commerce?
So agentic commerce right now, I think for the mass market is really you go on, let's say, use ChatGPT, and you're asking ChatGPT to find for you a brand new pair of sneakers. So you say like, my size, I'm a man, my size is 9.5. I like sneakers from Nike, but I'm also starting to see like, sneakers from New Balance. And I would like you to recommend me like sneakers that integrate like XYZ in terms of like, description. And ChatGPT will identify these sneakers, like share your recommendation. And then for the moment, you cannot really buy on ChatGPT for some of this integration. It depends of like, if they have the partnership with the website or something. But in the future, you will be able to buy everything. So I think this type of agentic commerce right now is part of the customer journey. Even if you see a lot of like posts on LinkedIn and blog posts on Substack saying like that's the new customer journey. For me today, it's more like an additional step. So you have some consumer who will use like LLMs to identify, product that they can buy, or maybe automate some buying process for groceries, for example. I can see myself like, using ChatGPT to repeat like grocery shopping every week without having to go to Walmart or without having to go to Amazon in the future to do it myself. But for now, I think it's more like a part of the customer journey.
Have you actually ordered groceries? So today is Halloween. I mean, I would love to find out what's the best candy so that most number of kids will come to my apartment. Is there a near real time fulfillment like on
Nah.
Instacart? No.
No, I don't think you get that today. I didn't test like, the Instacart integration, to be honest. And I'm still like, using the app for now. I'm testing a lot, but I'm not adopting, this type of integration. And for me, these are a good first step, but we need to see like more integration, more real-time integration, and more also like, easy to use features. Because do I really want to spend like, 20 minutes to discuss with the chatbot to place an order? Not really. So and that's where I think we need to enhance like, the customer experience.
Mm-hmm. And what are your thoughts about Alexa Plus? Because the other day I did place my first voice-based order, and I asked, because I'm getting a little bit of a cold with the change of the weather, and I asked for some cough syrup, and it actually did deliver it the next day.
Yeah, I mean, Alexa Plus, like, the big advantage is the Amazon integration directly. So if you are part of the Prime, if you have a Prime membership, you can use Alexa Plus like to order something. Still, I mean, like voice commerce is a trend that's supposed to explode, but for the last 10 years. When so at the beginning when I was part of the Amazon company, I think you were too, like, when they were like really starting to release like, this Alexa all over the world, it was supposed to be the next thing where you see, you know the movie Iron Man,
Yep.
when Tony Stark is speaking to Jarvis.
Yes.
Alexa is supposed to be Jarvis, right?
Ah.
So I don't think we're here today, but I mean, like with Alexa Plus, it's definitely like a huge step that they made. Now I'm just like waiting to see if people will really adopt the product, because I think like Alexa took a significant amount of time to really get there, and maybe people now are just like using Alexa for Alexa turn on the light, Alexa play music on Spotify or play music on Amazon Music. So it's like you need to make sure people understand what they can do now using Alexa Plus, and I think this part will take like a little bit amount of time for people to
Absolutely.
realize the opportunity.
Yeah. So I think the idea of smart home integration has been around for at least 2 decades. When I was
Yeah.
at Bell Labs, we were talking about the home of the future, and that was 20 years ago. So it's only now I'm actually using a routine to turn on the lights and get my morning going with motivational quotes, and at the end of the day to wind down with spa music. So it is part of a routine. So those are the consumer functions. But in terms of Gen AI for production level quality at agencies to move commerce forward, what are some of the things that you are seeing that are being explored or experimented from a business delivery standpoint?
Yeah, from a business delivery, I think like right now, when it comes to AI, we are really focusing on two different aspects. So there is like this agentic commerce, and agentic commerce can include also like the second part, which is content,
Hmm.
content production. So content production is definitely a big thing. And I mean, like every agency, I think right now is exploring how they can use all of these new Gen AI tools to create content, to increase efficiency and to scale everything they do. So when you used to need like, 3 weeks to do like, end-to-end production, potentially now you need 3 days. It's just like you have to find the right tool. You need to also have like human in the loop or every time to evaluate like, are we achieving the threshold? Are we following the brand guideline? This kind of stuff. A lot of tools right now, they do not have like, this type of integration. So it can be used like easily by the mass market, by people like me. If I want to create like a video of Bigfoot and then like publish it on my Instagram, I can do that, right? If I want to create like, meaningful content for a brand like Microsoft, Colgate, Unilever, then this is like an extra step, and there is like sometimes a quality problem,
Hmm.
when it comes to this type of asset. So I mean, on our side, like at VML and more broadly, like WPP, we are using a lot of like AI tools from Google, Midjourney, and every other like tool that we can find on the market right now. And we are evaluating this tool. We are producing like, some content for our client and working with the client to see like, if this marketing material can be used. We're also using like tools that are being provided by Amazon, for example.
Hmm.
Right now, if you use like the Amazon console, you can use like, the AI creative studio. So that will create like banners for you, that will create like video for you. And you just have to implement like, the SKU numbers.
Hmm.
So you implement this queue, you implement like a couple of guidelines, and Amazon will create the banners, will create the video that you can use directly into ads campaign. So that's great. That's really like, great tools. Now we need to find a way to how we implement like this tool into existing workflow,
Hmm.
and how also we are facilitating this workflow, because sometimes a content production workflow, like I said, can take 3 weeks, which is
Hmm.
like way too long.
Hmm.
And now clients are expecting this to take 3 days and maybe 3 hours tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. The speed of innovation is incredible. I think that was my first aha moment was when I saw that Amazon had released a video creation tool. And I think it was like a hypothetical pizza company. And so
Yeah.
they created this animation of a pizza ad. And it was like a big lightning bolt that this can be created with a single prompt. However, as you mentioned, there is definitely a quality issue because I've been using VO3 to illustrate some of my posts, and the spelling is often wrong. So efficiency has the 3 F's instead of 2 F's. So when it comes to lettering, there's definitely some challenges still.
The AI hallucination, that's what they
Yes,
call. Yeah.
exactly. There's certainly still hallucination. And it was enough to get the sentiment across. But as far as accuracy, it's not even repeatable. If you say the same prompt to ChatGPT for image, it doesn't create the same image.
Yeah.
You have to
Even if
start
you
from
ask him to,
scratch.
even if you ask him that to change like, the grammar of certain words, like it doesn't
It
work.
it doesn't work, absolutely. So, what's the current state of AI in commerce that's beyond the hype? What is actually doable? Because when we talk about agentic commerce, oh, I forgot to mention. So, the one thing is the creative production, which is being reduced from 3 months to 3 hours. The other
Mhm.
is actually the activation of it in media planning. And I've used N8N and Zapier to do some automation of placements. There's talk for small businesses of using email CRM automated responses to help with customer facing intake. But the orchestration of the activation and the placement and response is very complex. So what's the current state of intent and activation of AI commerce beyond the hype?
So beyond the hype, I think right now everybody's focusing on LLM optimization. And this is like, the topic like you will hear at every board meeting that you can be a part of. Every like QBR and BR is like how am I on, when I type my brand on ChatGPT or on Anthropic, I can't see my brand. What's happening? And everybody saw like, these, I think it was like a chart saying like, LLMs are using like, the following resource, like, to recommend, product or to, let's say, evaluate answers, and Reddit was the first one. So 40%, of the answer coming from LLM is coming from Reddit. And so right now everybody's like, I need to be on Reddit. And I'm like, yeah, you need to be on Reddit. The thing is like, you have to understand what Reddit is and what's coming with Reddit. I mean, like Reddit can be really great. It can also be like, the new Twitter. So people are being hidden behind like, some Reddit thing, like, nicknames and everything. And they will start, a sort of a storm about your brand. So you have to be cautious about like, your brand protection when you go on Reddit.
Yes.
And also like
it's
running
a Pandora's
ads.
box. You never know. It could be positive or negative.
Exactly.
It's the open internet. Yeah.
So exactly. And so you have to understand what you are doing and also like what you are trying to do. Because being on Reddit, like it's a strategy. It's not because like you will start running ads on Reddit that's tomorrow you will be like, relevant for any LLM prompt. That's that's a part of it, but you also need to work on your content, organic content, like, on your PDP, on different, like, retailers and everything. So that's really important. And this is where like brands need to work with agencies, or they can also like in-house this part if they want to. But most of the time they will work with partners, I think, to enhance like, this search AI strategy. So right now, this is what matters, I think, for brands. And my advice is always to say, like, you do not have to be GEO ready by end of the year, because even if you see numbers online saying like 68% of customers are using like Gen AI to make a purchase, let's be honest, ask around you, get out on LinkedIn, and you will see like not a lot of people are using like ChatGPT to buy a product today, or Rufus or something like that. That's not really true. Yes, that's a new part of the customer journey. Yes, it has to be considered. Yes, you need to work on a strategy. Does this strategy need to be ready by December 31st? No. We still have time. We are working with you on that part. We are not pushing this on the side. We know that's the next big thing for sure, but you still have time to work on this.
Yes, I always have my 88-year-old mother test. If she can't figure out how to do it, then, it hasn't made it over to the mainstream. It's got to be that easy to use.
I'm using my mom. I'm using like, my aunt and everything. Like, have you heard about AI? Yes. What are you doing with AI? Nothing. Okay.
That's the reality check.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like if you go on LinkedIn right now, you will see like, everybody's pushing like agentic commerce. And the fact is like, if you look at agentic commerce, like, they are facing the same issue as, the AGI. So they cannot achieve AGI today. So they're trying to change the definition. They are not achieving like, true agentic commerce today. So they are changing the definition, and they're trying to tell us like the integration between Walmart and ChatGPT is agentic commerce. No, it's not. It's just like, what's the difference between like, this integration and the fact that you can buy a product using Instagram?
So it's really about the last mile fulfillment.
Yeah.
Really than anything else. So then what should brands do? The creative tools are not ready for prime time. You can create a Bigfoot video, and Sora 2 is supposed to be game changing, but it doesn't meet the brand guidelines, because if you spell something wrong, then you're not meeting the brand quality threshold.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend as a new gold rush?
Yeah, I think what I recommend is to do like some test and learn every time. When a new tool is coming, like you can work with the partners you're already working with. Most of the time it will be an agency. Sometimes it will be a consultancy, to do some test and learn, see what's happening, and also start to, let's say, put everything in order for you to be relevant tomorrow. And when I say be relevant tomorrow, that's a lot of things is about like data. You need to organize your data. You need to have like, all of your content ready for geo, and all of the guidelines are already there. And when I said like, you don't need to be geo ready by end of the year, that's true, but that doesn't mean like you cannot work on the strategy. And the beginning of the strategy is about like data, content, and that part needs to be done right now. And it needs to be ready for early next year, so you will be relevant. That's the first step. The second step will be to evaluate like all of these different tools, evaluate potential partners that will help you to be geo ready. There is a lot of like, AI company that can help you on the search side. So that would be like third-party vendors. but that's fine. I mean, you can work with them. You can evaluate like, these different tools, and that would be like, good first steps, I think, on that side. When it comes to content creation, most of the tools are not like, enterprise ready. But if you look at VO3 right now, that's not so bad, to be honest. If you use like if you use like Midjourney, that's not so bad as well. And also like Google just released like, something that's more for SMB company, but that's named like Pomeli. So you go on the website, you copy and paste your URL, you add a logo, and that will, create campaign for you end to end. So, I mean, like, if you don't have a creative agency, if you don't want to have a creative agency, that's something you can use today. That will not be like, may not be the quality of the top creative agency like VML. See?
No, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, we won awards, so I mean, like, I can say that. So that may not be like top quality like VML work, but that's still something you can use today for your campaign. So test and learn is definitely useful. Continue to read a lot about like, what's happening in the AI world, and work with partners that will facilitate your AI transition.
Absolutely. And what are some of the expected outcomes from implementing some of these tools? Like Meta has Advantage Plus as its ad planner. Google has an Agentic data kit. I think they just announced their AP2 Agentic payment platform. So everyone's getting into the RMN bandwagon. Have you have any thoughts on the automation of not just the creative part, but the activation?
Automation is good if it's not creating a silo. So some of these companies, like they will like create like this feature and solution, and then you will be able to implement like this solution into existing workflow that already exists within the company. Now, as soon as you are trying to create something new that will create a silo, and I will talk about like, what Meta is doing right now and the different like announcement they made regarding like, give us your budget in 2026, give us like budget and KPI, and we'll do the rest. If you are only running on social, that's good. Because I mean, yeah, Meta is the biggest like social company, being challenged by TikTok today, but still biggest social company. So that's really something like, I recommend you to do. Now, if you really have like a sort of like omni-channel approach, meaning like you're running social, you are doing video, you are using like STV, you are doing, retail media network, that's maybe not the right solution for you, because you need to have this global vision. You need to evaluate incrementality for every partner, every channel, so you can assign budget and allocate budget to the right, for the right activation. So
absolutely. The integrated account, strategy is not just about optimizing on an individual walled garden, but looking across the platform. So,
but I mean, like, I use Meta, but that's the same with the others. I mean, like, if you use Amazon today, you can go on Amazon and they will tell you, we have like, the audience planning tool, and you are familiar with this tool. Like, audience planning tool will tell you exactly how much you need to spend on these, how much you need to spend on consideration, like, loyalty and purchase. That's good, but that's still one channel. What about the rest?
Yep.
How do I decide if I want to put like more budget on YouTube or Prime Video?
Right. So that's the whole media mix allocation. So agencies still have a role in terms of integrating across multiple vendors and multiple publishers. So who are the quiet winners that you think are going to be able to help solve for this agentic commerce problem, not just in an individual silo, but across all of the different events?
Yeah, so I've already mentioned like, Google being like, one of the quiet winners, because they are raising tool. They are not making headlines with this tool. They are leading like Anthropic, OpenAI, and all of the others are like making headlines, but at the same time, they are really like enterprise ready. A lot of the tools they are releasing right now, they can be used by brands, no problem. Then if you look at this agentic commerce, nobody is really talking about Amazon. Everybody is like making fun of them a little bit, saying like, oh, Rufus not working. Oh yeah, they release like 2-3 like features, but nobody really cares. To be honest, I think like they are winning this game, because at the end of the day, that's still the biggest retailers. You can be sure like an announcement will be live, in 2-3 weeks. Like, it will be certainly will be with OpenAI. So they will have the same integration as Walmart. And the chatbot they have internally, Rufus for Walmart, Sparky for Walmart, sorry, and Rufus for Amazon, these things are working. People are
I
using
think
it. Like,
yes, absolutely. I think
mm,
Rufus has gotten better because
yeah,
now I start to ask advice and it gives you recommendations. I use a lot of skincare products and I never know what to do. And so it's actually good because it reads the reviews and I like looking at credible reviews in order to
yeah,
make
it reads reviews.
selection.
You can compare product using Rufus. Like, they're starting to get ads into Rufus, so brands will start to, invest into ads on that part. And also, like, the only fact that Rufus is now available on PDPs, the homepage of Amazon, that's a good integration. They can certainly do better. They will enhance, like, the customer experience. But so far, I mean, like, I'm not disappointed at all by Rufus. Like, every time I ask a question, I get like something I can use. And
Mhm,
this is the same thing with Sparky.
mhm,
So while everybody is focusing on OpenAI, Anthropic, and all of these different integration, I mean, OpenAI just did one with PayPal. That's
mhm.
good. Now you can use PayPal to buy an API. That's perfect. But
Our old friend Mark Gresser.
yeah, but if you don't have, like, an integration with the biggest retailer in the world, that's still a miss. And I
Yep.
think like the first one that will sign this integration with Amazon will be the winner with
Yeah.
Amazon, of course.
Sure, sure. Absolutely. So let's shift gears a little bit. What are the biggest bottlenecks for critical mass adoption of AI by brands? We talked about the tools that are there and some of the challenges of brand quality. The adoption among the mainstream is not necessarily there. So, what will take us to the age of the Jetsons cartoon?
Yeah. So I think if you look, I read some papers lately that say, like, most of the people, the mass market is using AI to rewrite emails and summarize doc, which is true. I think, like, even internally when I talk with people online, everybody's using AI to write emails. That's fine. That's okay. Now, if you look at the enterprise world, what you need is fine tuning. I mean, like, for me today to get like a significant and usable answer, I need to be like a prompt engineer. When
Mm,
I use like Claude, so I'm doing a lot of like prompt engineering, making sure I had context, deliverable, like, the focus, the tone, and everything. But that's still not good enough most of the time for me to really use that in a professional world. So I need to have an AI that will be fine tuned on my company data, that will really integrate like what I'm looking for, the output I'm looking for. And you can use tool to do that right now. I think like you have like the thinking machine, labs that just released like, a tool named Thinker. Everybody made fun of them because like Thinking Machine is being fun, has been created by the ex
yeah. Mira
OpenAI CTO,
Murati. Yeah.
Mira Murati. So that when they released the tool, it was like, oh, this is it. This is the new this is the new AI. But at the end of the day, this is what the market like needs. The market needs fine tuning, and Thinker is an API that can be used to fine tune your model to really fit your needs. And you will see like more and more company like we use to like that.
Hmm.
Fine tuning would be the game changer, I think, for enterprise solution.
And that also gives some opportunity and runway for consultants because before it was the Deloittes and PwCs of the world.
Yeah,
The CEO of PwC or AWS went to PwC. So the fine
yeah.
tuning happens with the integrators who are on the
The
ground with,
AWS CTO is
yeah.
now the AI guru at PwC.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So I wondered about that actually. I was like, why is he going to PwC? But I guess it's in the execution for
yeah,
enterprises that where the rubber hits the road. So
yeah.
this gives rise to opportunities to do the fine tuning because end to end, it's not just the concept; it's actually executing against the plan.
That's true.
So then tell us a little bit more about how you came up with Fourth Mind.
Oh, false mind. So yeah, so if you look online right now, everybody's focusing on AI for business, which is like a good use case. Everybody wants to enhance like in what they do, drive efficiency, scalability, and AI is definitely a component of that. Me, the way I look at AI, and that's also because like, I became a father like, 1 year and a half ago. I'm really worrying.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm really worrying about AI. What does that mean for my future, for the future of my kid? What will be the impact? What do I need to do for him to be ready for the AI world? And so I created like Force Mind, which is like a media company, let's say, but a non-profit. I'm just doing it like, for fun.
Hmm.
We can say that. And
Yes.
so, yeah, I'm focusing on AI, advancing like healthcare, world mapping, disease treatment, new drugs thanks to AI, new analysis for cancer thanks to AI, these kind of stuff. And I'm writing like, weekly article directly on LinkedIn. I'm also posting on Medium and posting on other channel. I'm using like Notebook LLM also to create like a podcast for every article I read. So if people like prefer to listen, I have a podcast available on Apple and Spotify. And it's really like, Force Mine is really like AI for good rather than that AI for business. And when I say good, that doesn't mean like business is not good. That just the like AI that will change the world.
Society.
I don't think agentic commerce will change the world. I think like, AI for healthcare will change the world,
Yes. It's for saving lives. I remember
Exactly.
when my boss said, we're not saving lives. We're just trying to get commerce.
I'm saying that to my team like every day. Every day. I mean, like, I don't want you to stay like until like 9 p.m. You are not saving lives. If this campaign is not launching today, that will be the same tomorrow. We're fine.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Well, that's definitely something that's hopeful and aspirational, is to have AI for good. I do know that NVIDIA has said that they have dedicated data centers from pharmaceutical companies like Bristol Myers Squibb to focus on cancer research and finding agentic ways to advance the solution of disease management and treating disease. So, there is hope after all.
Yeah, I mean, even like, even like big companies like Anthropic, Google DeepMind, and OpenAI, they are not making headline with that, but a lot of things they do is focusing on healthcare, world mapping, saving lives, and they have a lot of different work stream on that part, education, and that's really great. I mean, it's just like they are making headlines for business, and they are pushing this on the side, but the side for me is more important. That's what's making headlines today.
Absolutely. Well, I had read that Fiji Simo, who was the CEO of Instacart and now is the head of OpenAI applications, has neural disease. And so she's talked about looking at ways to apply AI for humanity. So I don't really know what has been rolled out yet with that thinking, but with leadership, of course, that's how brands can really start to look at the world with a different perspective and a different lens. So that's a good way to end on an optimistic note. But as a final question, the world comes together for ad tech and creativity at Cannes every year. And, I've yet to go to the Croisette and sit in an expensive yacht to hear about the projections. But what are your top 3 projections of announcement at Cannes next year?
More AI, of course. but I'm pretty sure like next year you will get like, an OpenAI boat at Cannes. They will, I'm for sure, because
maybe it'll be a virtual boat.
Maybe, but not only because they will release like more AI features, but I think they will launch their ad offer, next year. They are building like more and more supply, more and more things. But at some point you will see advertising job posts posted on LinkedIn, like, at OpenAI, and the others will do the same. I mean, like, Perplexity tried to do something with their browsers.
Yes.
Now they took a step back because they have difficulties
to find. Google announced.
Yeah, Google announced. And then you have Atlas also like available.
Atlas, yeah.
So you can be sure, like, this company will go into advertising at some point.
Well, there you go. VML will not only be retail media, it'll be commerce.
AI retail media.
AI retail media. Indeed. Well, I mean, even metaverse, with the Ray-Bans and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I shudder to think about the day when there'll be agentic commerce, even when you're traversing horizons in different worlds from a gaming environment. But, it's not far-fetched in the future.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's really close.
Yeah, you have to monetize some way. Well, thank you so much, Anthony. I really enjoyed our conversation. And if there's anything else that you want to mention we have not covered.
No, I think like I'm really, sometimes I might seem like, a negative person because I'm criticizing online, saying like that's not true. But I'm really like, optimistic about like the future. And I'm really sure like AI will really help us, not only on the business side, but also like, in the world to make things better. And I can't wait to see that, to be honest. I'm reading like things every week. I recommend people to do the same. Read research paper. That's not the best reading you can have, but that's still important to read this kind of stuff. And you can use like, LLM to do a TLDR for you if you want to. So that's really great. Do this, and you see the world will be fine.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait to see how education will also change for
Yeah,
next generation of kids. But
sure.
appreciate the time. And
Thank you.
thanks to everybody for listening in. And hopefully you'll tune in to our next podcast. Take care.
Bye, Sunny.